everyone, and welcome to Christine Mint's Business. Today, we are going to talk about branding. I recently did a survey on my Instagram stories, and I asked my people what they wanted if they could have one of my masterclasses for free. And the topic that came out was branding. So I felt that I really wanted to do a blog post or an episode on this that is a little bit more in depth. So first of all, everyone desperately needs a brand, especially if you are in a service-based industry. So what does that mean? Very often we confuse branding in terms of that we think it needs to be really cold. It can be a little bit sterilized in terms of very organized. It needs to be corporate looking, and it really doesn't. What branding basically means is that it represents parts of you. And this is important to understand. A brand is not all of you. A brand is parts of you that you connect with your business. So in order to do that, you actually need to first figure out who you are, which we think we do know, but sometimes we're not actually that sure. So you need to figure out what your values are, super important, what your promises are towards your future clients. You need to figure out what your tone is. How do you speak to people? And sometimes we're not the most objective, So ask others, ask them, if you talk to me or if you were to describe me in 3 words, what would those words be? And sometimes it's quite surprising what comes out of there. And then what is your aesthetic? What are your favorite colors? What is your color palette? What kind of fonts represent the way that you talk, that you want your digital home to look like? Those are questions that are really important to answer, because if someone comes to your website, which hopefully they will do, then they need to know who they deal with. Because we are inviting them to work with us, obviously, and that is an exchange of trust. Because hopefully you will have packages that will be worthwhile and you also charge accordingly. If you want to know more about that, then go to my masterclass about numbers and packaging and packages and look a little bit more into that area. And in order for them to do that, in order for them to trust you with their hard-earned cash, they need to know that you're the real deal and they need to connect with you. And if they don't, then that's fine too, because then working with them would most likely have become frustrating and it just wouldn't have turned out the way you would want it to, which would also impact the results of that person. So it's really important that your brand is really, really clear, really honest about who you are and non-apologetic about that. Because in the end, we work with people, we want them to trust us, and either we are who we are. We don't sell a product that we can style a certain way. We are us. Our brand, our service is us. And it can be a little bit daunting. What if they don't like me? What if they don't like that I'm a little bit messy? I'm not the most elegant of people. What if they don't want that? Well, guess what? You will have lots of people who are more down to earth, who don't like elegant at all, or who like a little bit of chaos, So it's totally up to you, as long as you can obviously weave that in to your value and your promises of delivering an amazing result for your client. Obviously, don't change yourself for your brand. If you're someone who never swears, then don't start cursing while you do videos for online or social media just because you saw someone else do it and you thought that looked authentic. Authenticity is whatever you are. It's just what it is. So there's different steps to get to that. Personal development is a huge one. And then obviously fleshing out what all of those different pieces are. If you want a little bit with help with that, I have an amazing questionnaire for you that you can download for free underneath this video or underneath this blog post, and also look into the masterclasses that I teach. I hope this has been helpful to get you going, and I cannot wait to see your mood board, maybe your Pinterest board with what you came up with to represent you and your business. Talk to you soon, and don't forget to check out that worksheet that I have prepared for you. Bye-bye for now.